Warm greetings to you all curious teachers of English. Teaching grammar is quite challenging. Maybe one of the reasons is that no matter how creative and engaging grammar activities can be, it is still supposed to follow certain rules. There is a structure that needs to be used in a specific way, and maybe the non-conformist part in our mind makes us oppose such activities. Now, why grammar is still something that learners whinge about has been discussed in this video. In today's video, let's look at the Victorians and how they loved grammar. Did they love it as much as present learners do? In her book, The Play Grammar, or The Elements of Grammar Explained in Easy Games, Julia Corner suggested middle-class Victorians several ways of engaging children in grammar games. Now, what kind of games did she mean? Can we take anything on board today? That is the question today. I'd like us to begin with the very first pages of the book, The Play Grammar. "Oh, Mama," said little Fanny one morning after breakfast, "will you tell Herbert and me how to play the game you spoke of last night, and which you called the play grammar?" "Do, Mama," exclaimed Herbert. "I should like to know more about it." "And so should I," repeated Fanny, "for my birthday will soon be here, and our cousins are coming to spend the day, so we could amuse them with it and puzzle them as you puzzled us last night. Julia is fond of puzzles and riddles." "Well, my dears," said their mamma, "I have not the least objection. So, if you like, we will begin now." The play grammar was brought, and the two children sat down at the table with their mamma, who asked Fanny how many days would elapse before her birthday. The little girl counted the days with her fingers and found there would be 12. "Then you will just have time to get through our play grammar," said her mamma, "for it is in 10 divisions, and we will take one of them each day." "Will this game teach us grammar?" asked Herbert. "Yes, my dear, it will teach you something of grammar, in the same way that your puzzle maps teach you something of geography." "Oh, that will be capital," said Herbert, "because we shall learn and be amused too. I am impatient to begin." What do you think the present-day kids' reaction would be? I think it will be far from enthusiastic. Some people might even think that everything seems so contrived, so unnatural, but I would argue that the Victorian middle-class children might have enjoyed such a pastime. Remember, TikTok was still a century away. It was their way of entertaining themselves. I'm not sure we could engage our learners with such a pastime at present. For example, on the 7th day, they deal with gender. Apart from the fact that we can definitely see how much grammar has been influenced by people's perception on the concept of gender in general, the analysis the children did as a game would be considered extremely boring in an English classroom now. Basically, the children were telling whether the nouns in a text were singular or plural, feminine, masculine, or neutral. That's it. We'd call such an activity quite tedious. Undeniably, it has its merits, but the TikTok generation won't find it engaging at all. In addition, what is the use? That is the question. However, there's one game that was quite engaging, and it really seemed to be a game, not a drilling exercise. What learners should do is the following. First, they choose 12 nouns and write one on each of a dozen cards. Then, they choose 12 verbs and do the same. This is followed by choosing 12 adverbs and doing the same. Make sure to specify that they need to write adverbs of manner. Finally, on 12 cards, they write imaginative variants of "the consequence was." Each group of cards are shuffled and placed in a labeled container. 4 players each take a container, randomly pick a card, and read out what it says, starting with the noun, then the verb, then the adverb, then the consequence. I adapted the instruction a little bit by having different colors for each group. That turned quite useful as the card groups would not get mixed up. Nouns, verbs, adverbs. The consequence was. What is trained in this game is sentence structure. However, the result can be quite humorous because of the combinations that come out of each group. I tried and I have kept some cards. Let me read some of the variants. Let's see, shall we? So, Patience worked loudly. The consequence was they got married. The next one. Peace barked slowly. The consequence was the parents listened to him. Quite interesting. The dress taught quietly. The consequence was the family stayed awake. One more. Nature quarreled suddenly. The consequence was he didn't do the homework. What a tragedy. I'd like to end this video with a poem the Victorian kids were supposed to learn by heart on the 6th day of their play grammar endeavors. This is some food for thought for us. Is it worth asking learners to learn such poems by heart at present? Which would be some of the pros? What are the cons? Let me know in the comments below. A noun is a thing about which we converse, and some nouns we can see, such as this: boy, river, hill, table, baby, a nurse, and some are not seen, as fame, pain, and breeze. The adjective has its own place pointed out, where, if it is needful to know what sort of noun we are talking about, says 'tis handsome or mean, good, high or low. The articles are but two odd little words, a and the, as a father, a mother, the beef or the pudding, the children, the birds, an uncle, an aunt, and a brother. A verb is an action or what we can do. We can eat, we can drink, sing a song. And the state in which we may be, it means too. I am awake, I am bruised, I am strong. An adverb informs us how most things are done. So a telltale it is, I must say. It tells how you walk and tells how you run, how you read, how you work, how you play. The pronouns pop in as you cannot forget taking place of the nouns as they may. The singular these, I, thou, he, she, and it. The plural are we, you, and they. Prepositions show how things are placed and may be put before certain pronouns, as thus before them, after you, against him, under me, over her, beyond it, between us. Conjunctions join phrases together, you'll see. If you profit by what these games teach, interjections cry, oh, bless my heart, or dear me, and these are the 9th parts of speech. Hope it was useful.